Self-publishing podcast, 3-year anniversary show. Shut the fuck up, Sean. Episode number 156, and I forgot the ad read. You do it, Dave.
This special episode of the Self-Publishing Podcast is brought to you by 99 Designs, the online marketplace that helps you get outstanding book cover designs at an affordable price. Start your custom design today at 99designs.com/SPP and enjoy a free Power Pack upgrade valued at $99.
Celebrating 3 years of professionalism.
Yes.
Welcome to the Self-Publishing Podcast, where if you want something done right, you've got to do it yourself. And now, here are your hosts, 3 guys who sometimes shower together. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Johnny, Sean, and Dave.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to the special 3-year anniversary of the Self-Publishing Podcast, the podcast that follows 3 full-time authors as we attempt to change the face of indie publishing. I'm Johnny B. Truant, and my co-hosts are Sean Platt and David Wright. I'm watching the viewers on this sensational live broadcast and hanging tight at 0. So, sort of wondering if there may have been a miscommunication.
We got comments.
Oh, okay. Google messing up again. Yeah. There we go. We have comments already. What are the comments already?
Hold on. There's too many to go through.
This is going to be the first somebody's first show, and they're going to go. So they're starting off with comments.
Happy anniversary! Insert Ric Flair woo. Woo! I can't do it that well.
You should keep mine, though.
We came on just a few minutes beforehand, and Dave was like, "What the hell is this show about today?" And Sean goes, "It's our anniversary." He goes, "What the fuck? It's our anniversary? We're just supposed to talk about our anniversary." And Sean's like, "We're changing the face of indie publishing. Try and be in a good mood."
No.
He's so grouchy. Even on our anniversary show, he's got to be grouchy.
Okay,
Especially on our anniversary show.
Because you guys harp on me all the time and try to, quote, make me better. I
like, quote, make you better.
Well, it's still debatable whether or not anybody can ever change for the better. But, okay, so I'm trying this day schedule, so I sleep at night and, wake up.
Oh, my God. Will you sleep at night? When do you work, then? I mean, if you sleep at night.
Well, here's the deal. I've been sleeping at night, but it's hard for me to stay asleep at night because I'm used to being up all night. So I'm like tossing and turning, and then I wake up, and I have to wake up, in the morning in order to actually. Otherwise, I'll.
You wake up in the morning?
Yes, but
right,
then
wait. And just to clarify, you decided to try the new schedule today, on the day when you knew.
No, this week.
Oh, all right. So you're on day 3?
Yeah, but it still hasn't taken hold because I was fucking tired as hell and I had to take a nap before the show.
You would be immune to jet lag. That's what's kind of cool. Like, you could travel halfway around the world and it wouldn't make any difference.
My superpowers are as follows: the ability to sense insincerity in anybody, the ability to avoid jet lag, and to drink copious amounts of diet soda.
And unmitigated hate. Do not forget the hate.
and find anything that can go wrong in any situation whatsoever, no matter how far in the future.
We bring you Dave the Taper. Can't believe Dave the Taper is not here.
So what's changed in the past? We have a special.
Nothing changes.
We have a special surprise today, which
no,
we'll get to
not yet.
No. Well, we'll get to it in a few minutes. We'll get to it or later. But we do. So stay tuned because there's a special surprise on today's episode. But what has changed? I mean, look back 3 years, and nothing changes, right, Dave? Nothing has changed. Nobody's improved.
Well,
have you found yourself alone in a porn theater, touching yourself?
Who hasn't?
Man, things have really changed for all of us.
For the industry, for when he says all of us, he means all of us writers, not the 3 of us.
I mean the indie world. I think
it can all fall apart at any minute, though. Don't get too comfortable.
Are you gonna do this the whole show? Can you please just...
You guys woke me up for this.
We woke you up for this, dude. Okay, let me just say something.
Okay, wait, let's not turn this into last week's show.
Wait, whether you're on a day schedule or a night schedule, 8 o'clock is the time you should be up. Like, that's not really sleepy time, no matter what schedule you're on.
This is the point where I apologize for last week's show. I listened to it again, and Sean said, "Just tell me if it's as bad as it seemed." And I listened to it, and I said, "Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. We were off our game. We just had too many ideas and too many things." And we're back. We're back off our game.
You know what the problem was too? It was that we had a lot of stuff that we wanted to talk about, and we weren't really sure what we could talk about, and that was kind of inhibiting. And the guests that we're going to have on Friday, which Dave is, by the way, really miserable about that show. Seth, I know you're probably listening right now. Don't take it personally.
Okay, you guys say, okay, first of all, you guys screw me on the 8 o'clock show, okay, because even if I was up, 8 o'clock is the time that I get my son ready for bed, and it's just like a whole thing, and if you fuck it up, it's just a long-ass night, okay? So you said, okay, we're going to do a show on Wednesday, 8 o'clock. You don't have a choice. Fuck you, Dave. That was what you guys said.
Well, it's not like it's the time we've always done night shows or anything.
No. It doesn't matter, okay? So then I'm like, okay, well, at least I get Friday off, okay? Friday off. I get it off. I don't have to be there. And boom! No even tells me. Again, doesn't even tell me. It's just like an after. Oh, they're corresponding with Seth saying, okay, yeah, see you Friday at 3:30. Nobody said, Dave, are you going to be around at 3:30? You just assume I'm going to be here all the time like I always am.
All right.
I assume that Sean keeps you like a wild animal. He just informs you of that. I'm innocent in this. This is Sean's fault.
You can legitimately be pissed about that. That is fair. But it's a safe assumption. We do a podcast at that time every single Friday.
We weren't going to do 2 shows this week.
And wait. And we
got to book ahead. Sean's going to be on Shangri-La for several weeks.
We talked about doing that in May.
Right. So
why use it when we have the time, though?
Wait. Also, and I knew because we had just had a story meeting the day before, and we tentatively had a schedule for Yesterday's Gone on Friday.
Yeah,
so,
that's a story meeting. That's not a show. It takes a lot for me to get up for this show.
I love that this is your obligation time. Like, for me, this is free time. Like, it's the podcast. I get to kick back.
Dave's so full of hate. Oh, I think Haley thought I was kidding about the taper. Oh, well.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we ran into a few people recently who went back and had gone through the archives. Actually, there was somebody on Twitter, I'm trying to remember who it was, I could figure it out, who had gone back through the whole BOU archive, and I just like, oh my God, you're still around. But so, that's what I said. I said, oh dear God, why? But we've heard from a few people who've gone through the SPP archive.
You know what was interesting was we had somebody at the summit last week who listened to our entire show, but in backwards chronological order. So
you should listen to it.
They started with the most recent and then just went back.
So she said she'd hear about it, something that we did, and then she'd go back and she'd hear us talking about planning, like, what if we did that? Yeah, it's like Memento.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's pretty cool.
And I have a lot of space in my body to write down notes to myself.
You would do great with that disease.
Oh my God, do you guys want to write Fat Memento? I kind of do. That's awesome.
But I was thinking back on those old shows too, because I remember trying to play some of those early shows for Robin, just like in "Look What I Did" sort of a thing. And I just remember how stilted we were and how new I was to all of this. I mean, I'd been writing, but never quasi-professionally or professionally or anything like that. You guys had a lot more on me, and none of us had any of this going. We didn't have any of the rapport. Dave still probably hadn't cleared me,
No,
probably
you were
still on the watch list.
I didn't trust you yet. Yeah. I didn't trust you yet. I was still like holding reserve.
He might trust you by
you're too close. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working the long con. By our 5th year anniversary, I'm going to reveal my grand plan.
You're going to stab me in the back.
Yeah.
Johnny's info product is going to be how to steal ideas from Dave. $97.
Sabrique in the comments says, Dave, did you get Sean flowers? Johnny, did you get Dave flowers? Happy anniversary.
I should
Nobody got anybody flowers. If you ever send me flowers, I will bring them to your funeral.
No, fantastic.
Flowers. Got it. I
But
just added it to Asana.
there's good stuff coming up on the show though. I've been doing a lot of we've been trying to shuffle bookings and stuff because as we sort of alluded to, Sean's going to be gone for part of July, I think, and so we need to kind of bank some episodes.
Well, there's two things. Can I say something cool? It's not related to publishing at all, but hey, I get to do what I do because Cindy is as supportive as she is, and she has Johnny was actually here in my house when we heard about this. Oh, you have a White Russian. That's so awesome.
Yeah, well, of course I do. It's a late show. Where's your spirit?
I'm just Hunger Games in it.
I have my heroin waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
no respect for tradition.
Cindy absolutely just loves teaching. She loves teaching children, especially. And
this was great.
Yeah, she's pretty much just totally,
She and I are a lot alike.
Right. I've noticed that often. She put a giant pause on that part of her life for the last 7 years to support me and Sterling and Stone, and and in the last year she's been doing hot yoga every day, and now she found she's taking
another
class.
Lover.
No, she's taking another. She's found another lover. She's taking a class that's going to teach her. It's going to certify her to teach yoga to children, which is like pretty much the most perfect thing for Cindy to do, and I'm just so excited.
She would then be qualified to teach me.
It needs to be on. There's a couple of Fridays that she'll have to do it, so we'll need to book, bank SPPs for those days, and then I'm going to California for a couple of weeks in summer, so we have to book for those days too. So yeah.
Now tell everybody what Cindy said when you announced the anniversary to her.
This is pretty funny. So I said, "Oh my God, tonight's our 3-year anniversary show. Can you believe it's been 3 years?" And deadpan, she says, "Yes."
We are alike.
Yeah, time doesn't go by as quickly for Cindy, who's like holding up the rafters for us all. So yeah, she was not. I mean, she's so supportive, but sometimes it's just like it's exhausting to be married to me.
She's Jacob Marley dragging the chains through life.
Right.
Booking some cool guests on the show though, so we're gonna have
on days other than Friday.
Well, maybe we do hot yoga with them. Seth Atwood is going to be on maybe this Friday. Will be the live show. Maybe
you guys
not.
will be live.
We'll be.
Oh wait, why don't we just do it without Dave then?
That play the part,
and I'll watch it. I'll comment.
Yeah, you
Dave's
actually
gonna troll us.
You actually probably could because it's like whatever. But everybody would miss the Dave. But he's going to talk about the app, which is super cool. Something we were really excited about at the summit. Because honestly, like the app kind of made a believer out of me. Because when Sean said, I want to do an app this year, it was kind of like, well, okay, but what the hell are you going to do really with an app? Like it'll be cute. And we've talked about having an app that would be like our app, and people could subscribe.
It has to be awesome.
And deliver our content. And it's not that at all. It's like it's a functional app. It's one that will
everyone listening
help
to this
your writing. And yeah, and when we showed it to people at the summit, we didn't show it, but we described it. A lot of interest. People were like, "Oh, I want that yesterday."
That's what Seth used for his hot seat at the table, and it was awesome. I think that if you're listening to this right now, even if you don't use the app, you'll bounce your head when you're listening to Seth. Yeah, oh yeah, that's awesome. Like it's an awesome app.
So that'll be next, and then I'd like to do an autoresponders show at some time. Maybe that's the one you can bail on, Dave, is the autoresponder show.
Oh, we should give Dave the day off with autoresponder because he'll just hem and haw and roll his eyes anyway. And
well, we could do that on Friday because I've been knee-deep in autoresponders.
How about all your bonus shows or topics I don't want to be on, and you guys do those without me?
But without you heckling from the
it's not
from
as
the
much fun.
Yeah, without you being like the guys from in the Muppets who made fun of everybody.
I aspired to be them as a child.
It's just not the same. But the autoresponder deserves at least its entire show. Ours is the sort of thing that it's really complicated, but you'll be able to pick apart and say these are things that you can use because mine isn't as complicated. So just as a primer, we have 6 lines, and so we need to think about 6 individual sequences going in, and then there's the mothership Sterling and Stone where people might want to be part of that.
And
Each
another
line-
sideways sequence with the street team too. Like there's a lot there.
Exactly. So we're looking to build out street teams, for reviews and that sort of thing, where you give them advanced copies. We have our platinum readers, which are different, and so it's very, very complicated. But what I love about this is that as it builds slowly, it really will be throw traffic in one end via calls to action in the back of our books with a cookie, and if we do the Facebook ads, like Mark Dawson was talking about a few episodes ago, and everything touches everything else. So everybody gets introduced to all the lines.
Plus in Miami.
Everybody gets introduced to all the books within the lines. Everybody learns about Sterling and Stone and Platinum Readership and Review Crew and all that, or not Review Crew, Street Team and all that. And so that's going to be really, really cool. And I can't. Oh my God, it's so slow, but it's going to be so great when it's done.
Yeah, but it's awesome too, because this is, I mean, you guys have heard this. We've been talking about this forever, like more than half a year.
Because it keeps changing forms.
Yeah, and now it's very, very far along, and it's ugly work. It's just hard work, and it's not as much fun as fiction. But even today, we had a not a story meeting. We had a short little business meeting, and Johnny's like, "All right, I got to get off. I'm on autoresponders," and he's so like genuinely excited about it, which is a really good place to be, because if you're doing this kind of heavy lifting stuff and you're excited about it, you're just going to get your results a lot faster.
And just because I want to excite Dave on this, I'll just add that I've been using the Aweber Pro Tools to tag and segment those
Dave just
lists.
Got a boner. Did you see that?
So it's just so like move this person to this list when they do this, and click this link and apply this tag. But when it's all said and done, we're going to know who our readers are on each platform. We're going to know who our most faithful reviewers are, where they came from, what lines they want to review, what platforms they're on, where they live, and what the best time is to hide in their bushes.
And who they use for their cell phone carrier.
Nobody would reveal anything like that.
No, but really the power in this is amazing, because if you think, you're trying really hard to get reviews on Apple, say, because it's a smaller platform, and you've spent all your time building on Amazon, which I think is probably true for most people at this point. When you want to build that on Amazon, it's really hard to, you don't want to just send out an email to everybody on your list and say, hey, if you happen to be on Apple, can you please review? Because that's noise. It's noise for most people, and you don't want to give them noise. But if you can just send an email to, the 32 people on your list who for sure have bought on Apple, then that's a very powerful email. You can say, hey, can you please review on Apple? And it's just, it's different. Because you don't want to be noise. Otherwise you're training people not to open your emails.
Yeah, also, like if you're doing something on KDP Select, you don't want to tell people on every other platform, hey, here's this book you can't get for 90 days, you fucker.
You can exclude the people who are exclusively Apple.
Yeah, so hopefully Dave will not hate that show too much, but I think most people will really get a lot out of it. And again, we're going deep because we have so much stuff in ours. But there's but anybody listening can just kind of parse out what is relevant to them, and I think it will be one of our best shows.
I think so too. So we're also going to have Dan Wood from Drafted Digital to talk about Apple and Drafted Digital and Scribd. I haven't confirmed her yet, but Julia Kent is a romance author, best-selling romance author, who's going to talk to us about Apple. She kills it on Apple. I just booked in the past few days J.A. Huss, who's wrote that book that Sean and I have been talking about, 321. We originally found that book because we were like, look at how many fucking reviews are on this new book and how good they are. And I just noticed.
And then I read the book and it was awesome. Totally.
And it was
yeah.
Right. I'm halfway through it. It's awesome. And I just noticed that she released a new book, and I slacked Sean a week after it came out, and I said, go look at this right now. And it's she may have launched it cheap, but it's at $3.99, and it was like, I think that was the launch price, and it's at like $150 in the store. It has 250 reviews already, and it was a week old. And so she's going to talk Street Team and all that stuff with us, which is great. So Nook. I haven't totally confirmed that, so I don't want to nail that down. But we think we're going to have our Nook rep on too.
Yeah, so good shows coming, and people can't always meet on that Friday slot, so that's good because we can kind of work around their schedule and put them in the bank.
People like Dave.
I'm working around my schedule, huh?
Dave, before we get to some more of the anniversary surprises.
Read?
No, I don't want to spontaneously. Well, sure.
No, I'm not ready for that yet.
Not quite.
No, you're not ready for that. Have you had any encounters today that pissed you off? That would have made a Better Off Undead.
Yes. I know this belongs on Better Off Undead, but we're not doing Better Off Undead, and this is a fun anniversary show. Come on.
Well, first of all, Patrick Simp left a comment. There's like 80 comments or 70 comments. So
yeah, thanks everybody. There are about 50 viewers I'm showing now. So thanks everybody for showing.
Patrick,
that's awesome.
We do the show all the time at night. People actually watch it.
You would bitch all the time.
No, usually once I get settled, I'll be good. My ideal schedule is like waking up around noon and being up till 2 a.m. That would be perfect, but I can't get there quite yet. Patrick Sim says, I can't believe it's been 3 years. You guys aren't just sharing your journey. Your fans are connecting and sharing with each other, which has been amazing. And MGon said, hear, hear. No, he didn't.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I love all you guys. This is, I don't know. The podcast can be tiring sometimes, but it's that community makes it worth it always. Like, I love, like, the SPP Google page, like, you guys are, there's so much chatter there. And what was really cool is after this weekend, seeing how tight everyone stayed. They were on that group me forever and ding, 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 ding all day. And then they just moved it to Slack. And it's amazing to see, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or Google Plus or Slack now, there's just these little pockets of people who, seem so tightly bonded.
And we are looking to build out, like, speaking of community, we're looking at things that we can do to foster community. So we want to start doing Ask Us Anythings again, and there's some things with site work that we're going to do as well. So look for that.
Yeah. Can I talk on that for a second?
Sure.
Yeah. So I've been getting a lot of emails on the almanac, because those kind of just stopped, and those stopped because.
Garrett.
Yeah. Well, no, that actually isn't Garrett's fault. That one's totally me.
I just wanted to say Garrett's name.
Johnny was coming in for the summit, and I thought, we could do a live thing, and then we were just busy, and we didn't. And then I thought, we'll do a wrap up afterwards, and we didn't. And now it's just, we finally have our new theme, and there's a lot of work to do, and I kind of just don't want to start anything on the site. And if I'm on the site working, I want to be building something new out. But top of mind for all of us when we're doing the new site work is what can we do to foster community? What can we do to make forums better? What can we do to make engagement better?
Fight Club.
What can we do to make it easier for us to kind of incorporate participation into our daily schedule for stuff to help nurture comments and things like that. But for sure we'll start doing Ask Us Anythings again, because those were really popular. And we did get really, really busy, and this first quarter has been really, really busy. But we're trying to pull back a little bit and not be so busy all the time. And I think those community things are important. We get a lot out of them, and the community gets a lot out of them. And so, Johnny, do we actually have the next one scheduled?
No. I'm glad you called me out on that, though. Yeah. So this is fun because
maybe
Sean goes.
Ask me.
Sean goes.
Let me do it too.
Well, that was part of the challenge, was trying to figure out how we could do it while you weren't here, trying to schedule it so that you'd be blindsided by it. So it's fun. So Sean's like, we should actually have the next Ask Us Anything scheduled. Now, he's the one who proposed we should have that scheduled. He knows we didn't fucking schedule it. So, of course, he asks me, do we have that scheduled? No. You were the other person involved, dickhead.
All right. So Dave, is there a nighttime? Because I think we should do them at night. Is there a nighttime that you won't be
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock? Johnny's not going to do it at 9 o'clock.
Johnny, then.
How about 6 o'clock?
No, that's terrible. 6 o'clock? Are you kidding me?
Even worse.
All right, 7 o'clock. What time can we all agree on?
No, 7 o'clock is terrible too.
Yeah.
What is 8:30 too early, Dave?
8:30 is more doable.
Okay, 8:30 it is.
Okay, I
We
like
totally
8:30.
have this
I
entire
like 8:30
conversation
better.
on the air though, because people love this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Way to hijack it, Sean. Honestly, you said that that's top of mind. That's actually not top of mind. What's top of mind for me is where do you get a good book cover design? Because I'm just really running out of ideas on this one.
Well, I think you would
Or
go
logos, just spontaneously, just off the top of my head.
or logo. Yeah, you would go to 99 Designs because why? Why would you go to 99 Designs?
I don't know.
You would go there because they have teams of designers, just a zillion designers. I think the number was a zillion, waiting to do your book cover.
What
A
if
zillion-
you use them all up, and there's only 99, and you know that people are going to act on this, right?
No, there's more than 99. There are a zillion designers.
No, that's just false
That's
advertising.
certified. A zillion designers.
Okay.
Just waiting to do covers for you. And we got a cover for our book 12 that's coming out on May 12th. Went to 99 Designs for that. Why do we go to 99 Designs? Why? Because I couldn't do that cover. Because my idea was like just something I couldn't pull off. I'm a halfway decent designer. I couldn't pull it off. So if you're not a good designer,
Well, if you couldn't pull it off, then nobody can pull it off.
nobody could. Nobody. I mean, not even Jason Gurley. He'd be like, "What the fuck do I do?" Okay, 99 Designs. So we went to 99 Designs, and they came back with a great cover, and I'm thrilled. I can't wait to see it in print on my bookshelf. It's going to be awesome because when you have a book as depressing as 12, you want to hold it in your hands all the time and just remember that life sucks and never forget it. And 99 Designs will help you do that. Will help you remember that life sucks and that you'll never forget that.
That's important.
So start your custom design today at 99designs.com/SPP. You use that link, you get the free Power Pack upgrade, which would normally cost you $99, and you really should get that because it'll give you more designer attention. You get on average 185% more entries in your contest on average.
Of the
So 99designs.com/SPP. And you guys should hear the back office chatter on 12. Like anybody, you're gonna want to get 12, right? Because there's been a lot of discussion on 12, but not in the crash way. Like it isn't like, oh, this is so depressing. Like there's been a lot of interest in. Like this is I haven't read it yet, but it's on my Kindle. So this is a sincere compliment. Like this isn't me saying, oh, crash is depressing. Let's beat that into the ground. So I'm eager to read it just because everybody keeps drooling over it. So
can I say who stopped reading it?
No, that I was just gonna say. No. I think that's hilarious. Go ahead.
So Garrett started reading it because he was helping us with typos, and B, I think he was being the operative word there, and he basically sent.
Can I just read the Slack?
Oh yeah, go ahead, because I didn't get that. He didn't share that with me because he's a fucking pussy.
All right, hold on. I gotta find it.
The best thing here is that this is actually a 5-star review for the right person.
But not Garrett.
Fuck, dude. I can't keep reading 12. I'm sorry, but I have to bail. This book makes me want to jump out a window. I feel like shit because I know you guys need to catch typos and stuff before release. I'm going to send what I've got. And just to be clear, it's not because the book is bad or because the typos are pervasive. It's because I literally can't read another scene where a child is beaten by a bully or a father makes their child's life hell.
Oh, wow. Maybe I won't be reading it.
12. But it's very, very good.
Wow. Okay. So after that anti-advertisement, so you're really not going to tell the story of what happened to you today?
I'll tell the story. Yeah, okay.
All right.
Okay.
You can file this under fun anniversary show stuff, not relevant to self-publishing.
No, this is not at all relevant to self-publishing.
How do you know he wasn't a self-publisher?
And me, because I don't think he is. Because I'm going to tell this story. It's going to make me look like an asshole. And
You've never told a
good.
story like that before.
There you go.
Okay, I go to this grocery store where there are baggers, and this guy is a dwarf.
Like
and
they were saying shit about your mom?
Yeah, they're bagging on my mom. No, bag boys, bag girls. And this dude's a dwarf, and he he looks like he's 12. I mean, he looks really young for a door. That has nothing to do with the story. It's just something unique about him. So every time I'm in there, I get this feeling that he doesn't like me. I don't know why. I have no idea.
This is already my favorite story.
He gives me this fucking look. And every single time, and I know I don't come off as happy and personable in life.
No.
That's not true. Stop saying shit about
when
yourself.
I'm dealing with people, I'm pleasant and I say hi, how you doing? I make interactions. I mean, I can't control if my facial muscles are actually going up when I'm talking to people. Maybe I'm like, hi, how are you doing? I don't know. But I do know that I make the effort to be nice to everybody that I interact with. This dude, though, he just gives me the fucking stink eye every time I see him, to use one of Sean's favorite words. So today I had, and that's just me never getting him before. I just run into him in the store because he's always running around doing something. So today,
Like a toddler.
yeah, today I get him, and he's bagging my stuff. And okay, first of all, when you bag my groceries, please.
You don't even need to finish the sentence, and I love it.
Please fucking recognize that I know what I'm doing. When I put my stuff on a conveyor belt in a very specific manner, that means put that shit together in the right bags. Okay, I used to bag groceries, and let me just say, I can bag groceries better than 99.9% of humanity, okay? But I don't have high expectations for everyone. But at least
don't have one of those self-checkouts where you could just bag your
if
own.
they did, I would use it because I love self-checkouts. The less you have to deal with people, the better. So, okay, that would be perfect.
You can't wait until robots run everything, huh?
I'm waiting for the fucking day, man. I'm signed up for that. Okay, so I put stuff together. I put stuff, cans together. I put boxes together. I put it's just anything you can think of. I soap and stuff that's scented should never go with food. Okay, so that's in a separate little cluster. Bag the shit the way you get it. Okay, this dude's like being creative, deciding, oh, I'm gonna bag this and this and this and this. Okay, so 2 weeks ago when I went to this same grocery store, I got
Ooh, got a flashback.
I got taco shells.
Wow.
And, yeah, I know, big story. So I got taco shells. I got like all the shit that you do to make tacos, the cheese, the sour cream, like just everything. Okay, and I got the meat, and so I made it all, and then I went to open the taco shells. Every fucking one of them was broken. Like somebody had just fucking Jim Carrey and Ace Ventura: Pet Detective threw that shit all around and just busted up. So I was like, that just sucked. I mean, to make tacos and not have shells for them. I mean, yes, maybe I should have opened the box of shells before I started cooking the meat, but I didn't think that they'd be crushed. So anyway, this dude takes the box of taco shells and just throws it in with a bunch of shit. So I asked him, I say, can I please get that in a separate bag?
Did you call him Impy?
What? No. So I said, can I please get that in a separate bag? And he looks up at me. He looks up at me like, the fuck you asked me? Like, he's just annoyed with me because I asked him. So then he takes it and he puts it in a bag and he gives me this dirty look as he puts it in the cart. I'm like, motherfuckers, like, just give me a dirty look because I asked him a very simple thing. So we're just bagging. He's still bagging shit, and he's doing it all wrong. And I'm just like, I'm just okay. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna fucking say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. And then we get to the bread at the very end. I put the bread at the end because I want that motherfucking bread in a
Dun.
Okay, so what does this motherfucker do with the with the bread? Okay, the bread's at the end. Okay, he has a bag full of cans and stuff that just shouldn't be together in the first place. And he throws the bread in with that bag and then, like, swings it around so the bread's, like, immediately squished. And I'm like, whoa. So I grab the bag and I pull the bread out and I say, can I get a separate bag for this, please? I don't want it crushed. And he looks at me. He rolls his eyes at me.
Oh, no, he didn't.
And then puts it in another bag. And then he walked away. I'm like, you motherfucker. Wow. I wanted to beat his ass. So that's it. But
Wow,
now
and you
now
managed to soldier on through the rest of your day?
now it's confirmed. Like the guy's always giving me a dirty look every time I come in. Maybe he's just an angry person in general, and he just shouldn't be dealing with the public.
If you've never heard BOU before, now you have.
But here's the thing, and here's where I'm going to look like an asshole now. I wanted to
Here's
say
where you're going to look like an asshole?
I wanted to say something to him, but I'm not going to well, usually I don't yell at people to begin with, but on top of that, I'm not going to yell at a dwarf because that would just be wrong, isn't it? Or is me like treating somebody differently because they're a
Treating him
dwarf?
differently because he's a dwarf is worse than. Like,
You're the opposite of a dwarf.
Maybe that's why he hates me.
You're very tall.
You
no,
took all the height in the world and the
took all
fat.
the size. Damn it. Okay, I knew a dwarf one time. He was the brother of one of my friends in high school, and the dude was a fucking asshole. All right, he was.
So all dwarves are assholes then?
No, I'm not saying
what
all.
we're learning here?
No, I'm not saying all dwarves.
I'm trying to
are
get you in
assholes.
some trouble.
No, I'm just saying the guy was kind of a dick, and I'm going to tell you, I never called him on him being a dick because he was a dwarf. All right.
You discriminating motherfucker. See, I'm going to kick this guy's ass just the same.
I just like to put a timer on this conversation, just so you know, because it isn't Better Off Undead.
It did feel like Better Off Undead. All right, should we get to our special surprise for Dave? Are we ready for that?
I think we should. Let's get.
I have a related comment. Tammy Lebrecht says, a waitress sighed at me last week when I asked for a fucking plate to eat my food. I thought of Dave.
A plate to eat your food? Well, that's just unreasonable.
That does seem like a perfectly reasonable request.
But I feel like we need a jingle or something.
A drum roll or something.
Yeah, Sean and I decided that it was time to do a special segment.
Oh God.
Called Dave Was Right. And we're going to spend a little bit of time talking
once every anniversary,
all the times that Dave was right.
No, we were even so we've been planning this for a while. Did this come up at the summit when we first? I
think formally. I think that we said a few times. He left. I can't take this praise. I think we had been saying a few times that Dave was right. Like we kept saying with we'll get to some of these. So we'd say some of these with this was another thing that Dave was just right about this. And so we decided to formally, I think at the summit, let's make this a segment on the anniversary show.
So we even talked about it, and when Amy sent out the email yesterday about this, special show tonight, she said, "Can I mention the Dave is Right segment?" And I said, "No, because we want that to be a surprise for Dave." And
the best part of this is we don't even know if he's hearing this. That's
he
the best part.
I'm here, and I don't read those fucking emails. You can put Dave.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if he even reads the emails, but
No, never.
So Dave is right.
Well, that's as far as our organization goes. Because we don't have a list, but I have a mental list. There are a few of them. I'll go first.
Anytime I've opened my mouth.
Well, I don't know. Am I a dwarf? The one I'll go first with was Cursed. So Cursed is our book. It was originally in true Realm and Sans fashion called Chupacabra Outlaw. And Sean, get the cover ready while I'm telling the story, because that's part of it.
Oh,
the positioning of the thing. So
I don't even have.
No, the new one. Don't cue it up until I say so. But
okay, hold on.
Yeah, so it was originally called Chupacabra Outlaw, and that was just because it was just one of these title first pitches that Sean came up with, and he didn't know how to position it. He just knew he liked the idea of the fugitive with the chupacabra, and that seemed kind of amusing in the spirit of Unicorn Western, and we didn't realize what we'd end up with. And he pitched one that was kind of sitcom-y, and what he ended up eventually pitching me turned out in the final reckoning to be very dark. It turned out to be our driest, not most violent, but certainly the most horror sort of thing that Realm and Sans has done. But we still had in our heads that it was called Chupacabra Outlaw, and so yeah, it was. Well, Dave was right. Dave was right. So we hung in there, and Dave tried his best to make a cover for Chupacabra Outlaw, which, oh my God, just thinking back to what those covers were, because of what we'd given him to work with, was just what the fuck? Why would anyone ever in the history of the world buy that? And then Dave said, it's stupid. Chupacabra Outlaw, that's just stupid. So he was
trying to pretty up a pig for a whorehouse.
and we changed it to cursed. That was the first place that he was right. But even after that, we didn't go far enough, and we continued to mention chupacabras in the blurb. We continued to just talk, and like the I think it was like Garrett wrote the original description that said shit like chupa what now, and it was just like what the fuck? Why would you put that in the description? But that's like we okayed it, you know, and so we recently revamped that line along with all of our optimization, and Sean's going to show the new cover.
All right,
for cursed.
This is really
so
awesome.
It's now fully what it should have been from the beginning. I'll just click on this so his thing is shared. So this is the new cursed cover because it's basically a werewolf story, and we shouldn't lead with chupacabras because like
That looks like me when I woke up about 20 minutes ago.
And the tagline is "Fear the change, smell the blood." Which
is
I think
awesome.
is really cool. And it's got this werewolf guy, very tortured looking, almost demonic. And we're going to rewrite the product description and everything, and it'll finally come full circle to that's what it should have been from the beginning. So Dave was right.
Dave
Yay.
was right. Okay, I'll go with another cover related one, which was
Is this just an excuse to market your shit, man?
yeah, totally. So
God damn it.
so the cover for the Beam, which Dave, you know, I think the first one he tried to be kind of polite about. He's like, "Oh, that's a drawing."
How clever.
That's like, wasn't it in Seinfeld where they said that repeating the name of the gift is the kiss of death? Like if you get a label maker and you say, "Oh, a label maker."
Right. So you're like, "Oh."
When my wife said that she's pregnant, I said, "Oh, you're pregnant."
Right, exactly. So, oh, it's a drawing. You know, and we like it as a piece of art, but it did nothing to sell the story, which, you know, Dave pretty much said from the beginning. And I think it was early this year when we'd already started to optimize, and we thought, man, we paid a lot for that cover, and we like the cover, but that cover is not doing its job. And
Not even a little
Hey,
bit.
hey, I got a good idea. Let's get this cover that doesn't work and then make it $9.99.
well, okay, that's Johnny can take that one.
Well, so and just to before Sean goes on about this, I'll just add that Sean made this observation about the cover, and David made it a long time ago, but we'd gotten used to the cover.
Before I did.
Yeah. So Sean made and he said, you know, I don't think that cover's right. And then it was just like, there are cinematic equivalents of this, and I just can't think of any where like something happens, you're just like, oh my God, like I didn't see it. I didn't see like it's like in Shallow Hal when all of a sudden he realizes, you know, like, it's not really Gwyneth Paltrow. And so it was like that, and it was right before the BookBub ad, and I was like, we have to rush and get that fixed. It's so not going to convert. So we've been dying for the new cover, and the new cover is up now. Were you going to show it? Is that were you going to, or were you going to continue?
No, I was actually pretty much done. I mean, that's the whole thing.
Okay.
I don't have it queued to show, but it doesn't matter. The new
Right, and it isn't really a thing to talk about our shit. But Dave was right. The cover was wrong.
yeah
If you want to see the new one, you can go look at the listing on any of the platforms.
the cover was wrong. It didn't sell the story. It's a little high-minded, and you know, which so is the story kinda. But so what? It didn't have a headline. You know, you're supposed to sell the click, and our cover absolutely did not do that. I think Johnny or Dave just actually tagged the next thing he was right about. So does that take your turn, Johnny? Because I think we should explore that one.
Well, I wouldn't put this in a class of right versus wrong. I would put it in a class of changed circumstances. Originally, we were doing a lot of episodes and seasons, and the individual episodes of the Beam were $2.99. And so, as long as we had the individual episodes, when we did a collection of them, 6 episodes that would normally be $3.99 or $2.99 would be $18. And so we did it for $9.99. This was the infamous price debate episode. Episodes, yes, the ongoing debate, which invoked many arguments. But it's not really apples to apples anymore. So it's not priced. Season 1 is not priced $9.99 anymore. But I don't think it's quite as black and white as the rest. It's more, we decided that individual, the collection is really the book. So if you look at the new episode, the new cover, you'll actually see it's not a 3D box set anymore. It is now just a cover. And season 1 is now $4.99 because it's the entry point. We've written the second season, and subsequent seasons will probably be $7.99. So it still is our premium product, and I think that long term I'd kind of still like it to be higher.
Yeah, it should be higher simply because it takes us longer, it takes more bandwidth, on and on. My next one for Dave. Dave was right. Dave was right. Dave was right about box set images.
Yep.
Finally.
Yeah, so Dave, I don't know if this was like 6 months ago, maybe longer. You know, it was after a call. It may have been a CJ Lyons episode. I'm not sure, but Dave basically said, you know, have box sets kind of run out their value, you know, because
and I think CJ said they hadn't yet. They were still performing well. I think in some circumstances they are, but
yeah, but we
that
found
train's coming to a stop.
Yeah, we basically, when we're redesigning all of our covers recently, we've not done box set images. Now that's not necessarily the case for conversion on a list. When somebody's opting in, that's off Amazon, and so it's a little bit different. But on Amazon, the strong, solid book cover image, even for a full season or something, unless it's a true box set. But for anything that we do, like Beam Season 1, White Space Season 1, that kind of stuff, a full book cover is better. So Dave was right.
And here's the thing about that. And the box sets become synonymous with cheap. And we all know when 99 cents became synonymous with cheap, it kind of ruined the effectiveness of that. And it does work in some circumstances, and it probably works enough for certain genres. But the other thing is, if you're putting out a box set that isn't cheap, like if you're just, you know, if we did season 6 of Yesterday's Gone as a box set, people see that, they're like, hey, why isn't this box set 99 cents like every other fucking box set? And the other thing is, a lot of these box sets, they have content that you may or may not have already read. And when you start seeing them over and over, you kind of, your eyes just like, okay, I probably already read something in there, so fuck it, I'm not getting it.
It's a Zig versus Zag thing, I think.
Yeah, so box sets made sense when no one was doing them, but now everybody's doing them, and a lot of them are kind of cheap, and the value is questionable. Then you're communicating the wrong thing to your audience. So that was something where Dave may not have been right at the first time he suggested it, but he was definitely ahead of the curve.
I was just ahead of the time. Yeah, I was just time traveling right.
Yeah, and sort of ancillary to that is the idea of what you think your book is or should be is not necessarily what the market thinks it is or should be. So the Beam should be an individual cover because it really is an individual book. Like it is written episodically, but it is not really episodes in terms of like how people consume it. It's just that's an artifact, and these guys did that at the beginning. They did episode weekly releases, and at that point it made sense to collect it up and make a box set image, maybe because it was a collection of things that had been released individually. But my favorite example of this is Unicorn Western. Now we will go back, maybe this year, maybe next, and we'll re-release.
I'd like to think this year, just because it's so optimized. Like it's our year of optimization.
It's our year of optimization. We may release Unicorn Western 1 through 9 as individual books, but originally we released them as individual books, and then we collected them, and the full saga really became the book. Like it just became, people didn't buy the individuals because it was so obvious that they were derivative. Like Unicorn Western 1 had a different cover from Unicorn Western 2 and 3, but just in color. It was the same image, and it was called Unicorn Western 2, Unicorn Western 3, and you could tell it was just like, okay, so it's just this book again. And so conceptually, the market saw the full saga as the book, and we saw that as the full book, and that really happened when we took Unicorn Western 1 and left it as perma-free, and we took the full saga and left it, and we got rid of everything else. Now, we'll re-release those, and Lexi's Future of Sex series is probably a good example of the way this should be done. Cursed as well, where the individual books have their own identity. So the Future of Sex 2 is now called The Girlfriend Experience, has a different cover, has a different name. It's in the series, but it's not It's not the
And you
future of
can
sex
tell
change.
immediately by looking at the cover, at the style, at the font, at everything. It's immediately apparent that it's in the same series, but it has a different title and all of that. And and that would change it with Unicorn Western. But whatever, like we
Which
learn. And
means we need
Dave was right.
9 covers for Unicorn Western to do that right. 9 names.
We got a comment. Bookshelf Battle says Chupacabra Outlaw seems like a badass title, but I guess with Chupacabra Outlaw, people would probably expect comedy. So Dave was right. Yeah, and that was one of the things I said.
Dave was right.
And to take off on comedy, my next one was going to be
Redacted. Are you finally going to admit Redacted?
No.
Awesome.
I am not
Okay,
going
that'll
to
be next
back
year.
down
Can't wait.
I am not going to back down on any of the individual LOL titles, but I am going to give you major credit for suggesting that they go in a different box. So, Space Shuttle
The garbage
Greens,
can, I think, was what I said, not box.
Space Shuttle Greens, Everyone Gets Divorced, everyone's favorite Redacted, and a few other titles. Decoy Wallet, which my dad keeps, when I was talking to him the other day, so did I tell you how much I like Decoy Wallet? Like, my dad is Decoy Wallet's only fan.
Wait. Your dad's the one that said I'm beautiful, right?
Yes, he said that you're very
Don't
attractive.
say the
Clearly he's impaired.
My favorite LOL title.
Dave's suggestion was if we must publish that shit, was probably the way he put it, at least put it under a pen name. Now, Dave was probably positioning in terms of shame.
I don't want to associate it with that.
But we did create Max Power as the pen name for all of those titles, and I have to agree that that was definitely the right move, because it's true when you have a shuttle, a title named Space Shuttle, and a title, those are the funny, ridiculous comedies or whatever, and put them right next to the serious titles, it does confuse readers a little bit. So
Right.
Dave was right on that.
The Beam reader is not the same as the Space Shuttle reader at all. There may be some crossover there, but if you just read the Beam and then you get Space Shuttle because you think that
You're going to be pissed.
you're gonna be pissed. But now to Space Shuttle's credit, the people who've read the full season enjoy it, as far as I know.
Locked up somewhere safe, I hope.
All right, so it's funny. I'm proud of Space Shuttle. I can't wait to get Space Shuttle.
I bet my angry dwarf bagger would love Space Shuttle.
CC Wall is Space Shuttle's biggest fan.
I love Space Shuttle, but it's not a Johnny and Sean title. It's not a realm. Like Johnny coined the phrase inquisitive fiction last year, and I love that. That's a perfect way of describing Realm and Sands. That is what Realm and Sands is, and it's not what those LOL titles are. So they really did need, their own space, and so
Edward
Dave was
Sullivan.
right.
Edward Sullivan says Chupacabra Space Shuttle. Please don't give them ideas.
No, we have too many ideas right now. We gotta close boxes, not open them. But I like that.
Random shout out to Tiffany Fulton, who says on Twitter that she's sad she can't be here because she's got to work. Sorry,
It's
Tiffany.
work.
I'll hear it on the replay.
Bookshelf Battle also says he's right about decoy wallets too. I never leave home without one. and then Bookshelf Battle, I don't know if it's a he or she, says, "Ha, decoy wallet jinx." That would be funny if decoy wallets become like so well known that now Robert's gonna say, "Okay, now give me your decoy wallet, motherfucker."
Or no, say this is
Then
your
you
decoy
need
wallet.
two.
Give me your real wallet. Yeah, you have 2 decoy wallets, a never-ending nested set of decoy wallets.
Russian decoy wallet.
Oh my God, 3 decoy wallets.
So now, after telling Dave that he's right all these times, I'm worried that now we're going to start with no. Like, I'm worried now that it's going to be like, well, I was right that time, so there you
know
go.
what? We didn't share that. That was going to be my something cool for last week. Can we do that? The start with yes? Because I think that.
Yeah, I actually think that's a good way to conclude this segment, because although Dave was right, it doesn't mean we're going to stop taking stupid risks.
Yeah. Okay. So because here's the thing, like I actually think that I've actually seen Dave at a round table in a room full of marketers, and he performed very well. It was really cool. He seemed to thrive with the energy. Dave actually.
I do in creative energy. I do. I like talking and brainstorming with people.
Yeah, I've seen. I mean, Dave's had some really great ideas.
When he's not drawing pictures of Sean's mother being screwed by Dave with boots on.
That helps my creativity.
Or Snoopy in.
Yeah, well, that also helps my creativity.
In awkward situations.
I may have mentioned this on the show before, but if not, or it may be something that you've forgotten. the archivists out there that are writing down every single thing we say. Yeah, I initially I wanted to be in advertising when I was a young Dave growing up.
The young Dave.
You know who he is? He's Edward.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
What?
Well,
Edward
Edward
the
the
Unicorn.
Unicorn, who's a total asshole in Unicorn Western, but in Unicorn Genesis, he's a young colt who has not learned to hate the world yet.
See, yeah. With age comes hate.
With age comes hate. That sounds like a perfect Yoda-ism. With age, hate comes.
So the thing about Dave though is that he does have great insight often, but it's hard to know when
So
it's
fucking smart.
it's hard to know because sometimes he's just a grouchy asshole and he's shooting shit down.
Sometimes.
And so this was this is one of those things that I heard recently. I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago, and it just keeps coming up again and again and again. And I think
I gotta interrupt you. Edward Sullivan says Dave's performance on a table in a room full of people. Woo! It was ass to ass. All right.
I wish I had it on tape. I keep seeing it. It was something we talked extensively about at the summit, and I think it's a really simple takeaway that we can absolutely talk about here. And it's something that I think every creative person wants to remember. And I've thought about it many times in the last few weeks, and it seems to recur. It seems to be an echo that I'm seeing a lot right now, and it's the idea of in improv when you have two people on the stage and you have to follow certain rules or the improv breaks down. It doesn't work. And the one rule that you just absolutely can't break is that you have to start with yes. So no matter no matter how stupid the other suggestion is, you can't shut it down. You can't say, no, I'm not going to do that. You have to say yes, but, and then figure out how to make it work. So like there's that one episode of The Office where Michael Scott is doing his improv and he keeps coming out and shooting everybody down. He's like, hey, it's Michael Scorn! And he just keeps pretending to shoot people and they all die. And so the guy who's running the improv, he's like, you can't do that anymore. No more weapons. And so he says, okay, Michael, get rid of all your weapons. And Michael's like reaching into invisible pockets and throwing all his guns on the floor. And then in the very next scene, he's with another guy and he whispers something to him. And then the guy puts his hands up and the teacher says, what did he say? He handed me a note and it said, I have a weapon in my pocket. And it's like he had to get his way, but no matter what, the guy had to say yes. And I think that there's some magic there. That if you say yes, but, and then you try to figure it out, like that's something that makes entrepreneurs work. Like that's what makes us tick. And I think that if you combine that with the right creativity, you really open a lot of doors for yourself. And I think that, certainly on the Realm and Sands side, that's what we thrive on, and the smarter artist side too, that's what we thrive on. And yeah, we make a lot of mistakes, but that's what iteration is for. That's what optimization is for. The fact that we always start with yes and then figure out how do we make that crazy idea work, I think is a really, really important skill set for every creative artist to hone. And I think that, Dave often does start with no. And so because he starts with no so often, we get deaf to him. And we it's true. We miss it when he has the right insight or the right idea because he's not the guy on our team who sometimes is the voice of dissent. He's the guy who's always the voice of dissent.
I'm the truth bearer.
And so it's just, it becomes noise. It's like sending your email out, to everybody when you just need to send it
I'm
to
the
people on
spam filter
Apple.
that stops all.
Right. So anyway, Dave is right about a lot of stuff, and I'm glad that we recognize that. But I think that it's important to be able to start with yes and then break the questions down and find out what may be wrong with them, but not to start with no, because
I heard a quote recently in an interview with an artist. I can't remember who it was at the moment. I'm sorry, but basically the guy said, an artist that doesn't take risks isn't an artist. And
I couldn't agree more. I think art is risky. And I think business is risky. If you're trying to raise money, and you're trying to get VC funding, for example, and you go and you have this great idea and you don't have any failures, it's harder to get backing because they don't think that you are capable of risk. They don't think that your ideas are big enough. Like they don't want people who've like fallen on their face over and over and over again, but they want people who have shown an ability to take chances because that's how you make it big. You don't no one I mean any business person that we know by name did not get there by playing it safe. And for me, for sure, the business side is part of the art. Like I see those intersections and I enjoy those intersections. And I think that
Yeah, I will say I am very much risk averse when it comes to business specifically, not art per se, but business specifically, and that comes from just growing up as I did. I was poor most of my life, and my father was a blue collar worker, and he had a lot of shit to deal with, and I sort of internalized a lot of that, and I think that's why you and I make a good partnership, and now I and Johnny make a good partnership, is because you guys think in an entrepreneurial way where you're not afraid to take risks. See, with me, whenever like a new opportunity comes up, I think, okay, what do I have to lose? How many more chances do I have to do this one thing? Like I think in a very limited resources sort of way. And you guys, you're not even thinking about tomorrow. You're like, fuck it, we're gonna do what we want, and it'll work out, or we'll create a new bridge in midair and find our way back. Just you guys have a tenacity that I wish I could have, and I don't. I'm trying, but yeah.
But on the flip side, and this is something that we brought up at the summit at the end, was Dave, you complete us, right? So it's not enough. This really is, and then maybe this is a good way to close the anniversary show. Is that this really is this is a good trio, because Sean and I, without Dave's counterbalance, are kind of stupid, and we're blind to stuff too. Like there are things, I can't think of any examples, but there are things that Sean and I have just been like, la 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 la, whatever. Like we're not paying attention, and Dave catches them, and maybe we think he's a little too worried about it, but at the same time it brings us back, not all the way to where he is, but back to maybe something more reasonable. And so we do need that counterbalance, Sean and I. So it's not like we're right and we're going to drag Dave over to our side.
No, it
really
works
as a trio.
It's a harmony. We push Dave past his comfort zone.
We're bones thug in harmony, man.
And he pulls us back a little bit, and I think that's great. He pulls us towards the center, and we push him out, further than he would go by himself. And I think that's great. That's what a team should be. And it's the same thing. I think that an A team with a B idea is probably more effective.
A team.
A B team with an A idea.
Am I Mr. T?
I feel like we have a lot of A ideas, and I feel like we have an A team. And so it's just a matter of time. We keep hitting it harder and getting better at what we do. And I think that, I don't know, I'm really lucky to have you guys. And I think the three of us are really lucky to have, everybody, the people live listening right now, the people who are going to listen to this next week. We can't do this without you guys. And so yeah, for sure, ask us anything. We will send an email. We got to do one of those coming up soon, and the new site will be
lots of good stuff coming. There's some website stuff, author website stuff that we won't go into, but we'll get into later. That's coming down the pike. A lot of people with you need to get your author website going, and so we're working on some partnerships there. That's going to be really cool. The Stone Table is something that, well, actually you won't probably hear a lot about that because it's like Fight Club. But we have gotten some applications in for people interested in our mastermind. It's very limited. There'd just be like 12 seats originally. So if you're interested in that, let us know and send an email to Amy, and she'll get back to you. That's what was the URL? sterlingandstone.net/Stone Table.
Yeah.
And that'll be our mastermind. We were looking for really business-minded, outside-the-box, creative, innovative sorts of people to be in that, trying to build the best room in publishing, the smartest room in publishing. So any other final notes before we close up the anniversary show?
No, but just thank you for everybody listening, because, I don't know, like 3 years it's flown by for me. It's dragged by
for your wife.
Right. And but we wouldn't.
Does Dave's wife even know that he has a podcast?
I think she knows about the one where he's always right. I'm not sure that she knows.
She thinks that he's just in here masturbating for an hour every day.
Talking to people. Talking to two guys whilst masturbating. Yes.
Wow.
Another night.
Thank you very much.
To be
for
fair,
everybody.
you could just he might be doing double duty and we just don't know.
Well,
yes.
I've seen his
That's why I
face
keep
a couple
blanking the screen
times,
out.
actually. Yeah. So thank you to everybody listening, and we couldn't do this without you.
All right, so this has been the Self-Publishing Podcast. I won't do a normal outro on this just because this outro is all about you, people. This one's going on.
So we're not going to ask you to
you
buy
in
anything.
podcast land. Maybe I had too much vodka in my White Russian, but thanks everybody for listening. It's great. It's been a great 3 years, and you know what? A podcast doesn't survive 3 years if it doesn't have an audience. If the hosts have acuity at all and awareness of what's going on. Because who wants to podcast and nobody? So thanks everybody. Thanks so much for listening, and stay tuned for all the great stuff that we have coming up. And we'll see you next week.